Hey guys, Ashley from Red and Beard here. Today we're going to talk about my top 3 SMART goals for this season of life. If you don't know us, my husband and I started a travel vlog a few years ago. It's teeny tiny, there's only a few vlogs posted. It was really just a way to capture our trips and also share them with you. And then COVID hit, and so we've kind of transitioned to doing home projects, and now we have a baby. So it's been quite a crazy year and a half, but here we are, and we've had a lot of changes going on. So with that, I recently left my full-time job to stay at home full-time with our daughter, and Kyle's working from home. He found a job remote, so that's been awesome. But we aren't traveling as much. So this vlog has kind of transitioned into a home project, some traveling, some everyday life, and just, I'm also adding in that piece of me that I am a mom. So without further ado, let's talk about SMART goals. So I used to work actually in corporate training, and SMART goals are something that often companies would use to help people set goals for the business or for themselves. Marketing SMART goals are really relevant in, as well as career goals in general. So a lot of career coaches use SMART goals. The reason why SMART goals are SMART, it's not a verb to describe the goals, it's actually an acronym. So hopefully the words will appear here like magic as I say this. I'm the one who edits it, so they better appear there. But SMART actually stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So we'll break down those a little bit as we talk about what my 3 goals are. So I'm entering this new season of life with raising our daughter, and up until this point our lives have really been go, go, go. So I really wanted to be intentional about planning what the next goals were, and I didn't want to make the goals so big or so unattainable, because it's really easy and hard to say I want to be the best mom in the whole world, but what does that actually look like? So instead of that, I kind of broke down goals for this particular season. So as I looked at transitioning out of my job, out of my career, and am now kind of entering this experience of being home, but also being like a full-time at-home parent is a lot. And if you don't have kids, it's hard to explain, but you're just constantly on all the time. Sleep deprivation is one thing, dishes needing done's another thing, but just also like the day-to-day checking in with yourself, checking in with your child, checking in with your husband, but checking in with family. Like there's just so many aspects to being at home all the time and trying to do that. So what I really wanted to look at for this season, especially as I kind of, I don't want to call it mourning my old self, but like as I realizing that I'm no longer the old Ashley that I used to be, and have now taken on this hat of being a mom. So I wanted to think about what that would look like after living through a crazy time of trying to work full-time and be a stay-at-home mom full-time, which was a lot in itself as well. So the first goal that I have at first would sound kind of broad, which was, I had this idea of self-care. Kyle actually really encouraged me on this one. He said, if you're going to do this, if you're going to be a stay-at-home mom, you still have to take care of yourself. It's really, really important. And I appreciated that he was willing to say that, and hone in on that. That's a really important thing. So self-care is so broad though. Self-care for some people is going and getting a massage, or having a spa day, or having ridiculous amounts of chocolate cake during the week. But self-care for me during this season, honestly, and when I say season, I'm talking about the next few months of just like trying to set up myself for success. So my first goal is self-care through, and I'm going to say through doing these 3 things. And number 1 is putting on clean clothes every day. As a new mom, you wake up sometimes at 6 a.m. and sometimes at 8 a.m. depending on your kids. Sometimes 4:30. Who knows? Babies have they go through these cycles where sometimes they're awesome sleepers and sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're teething. Sometimes new foods bother them. There's so many different possibilities to how their sleep cycle goes. Let alone if they're going through a growth spurt. So I wanted to set up, for myself something achievable, because those first few months when she was born, there were some days where I did not put on a fresh set of clothes. You'd get through the whole day and you'd go to get ready for bed, and all of a sudden you realize that you're still wearing the same yoga pants and probably underwear from the day before. And nobody wants to feel that way. No one wants to feel gross. So that's goal number one for me under the self-care, is I just wanted to put on fresh clothes every day. So far this week, been pretty good. So that's specific. So that's the S, right? Specific. Specific goals for self-care. Another one under that is to wash my face in the morning and in the evening. Same thing, just making a conscious effort to do that, because at the end of the day, you're so exhausted that you might forget that maybe you have makeup on. Maybe you had drool on your face from, a child, or rice cereal. Oh my goodness. She wipes that stuff everywhere. She could throw it on the walls. So you just want to make sure that, I'm setting up these goals for success. So those two things, changing my clothes and washing my face, those are very specific. Like I know what those goals are and how that would look and how to get there. The next thing is it measurable? Did I do it every day this week? Did I change my clothes 5 out of 7 days? Still pretty good. Did I do it 2 out of 7 days? That's probably not so good. So that's where measurable comes in. You want to be able to measure that goal. Next, if you kind of think about that goal, is it achievable? Can I do that? Can I change my clothes every day? Yes. May I have to ask for help from Kyle? Not help changing my clothes, but help with Gwen for those 5 minutes? Sure. Sometimes I have to ask him to hold her or distract her or take her out of the room because she's a very clingy baby. And that's okay. So it's achievable, but I might have to ask for help. That's great. Is it relevant? Absolutely. Relevant to my life? Absolutely. I don't think anything else has to be said about changing your clothes every day. Time bound. So like I said, making goals that are just for the season of life you're in, they're going to be so much more achievable. So probably in the next couple months, I'm going to get to say the end of November and look at my goals and go, did I do those? Did I make it? Did I make the mark? This week's been great. Next week could be a bad week for Gwen teething. And I don't know if, she'll be able, or I'll be able to do everything that I want to do every day. Sorry, there is chocolate cake actually in front of me, and I just realized that the plastic wrap was coming off, so I'm just putting that back on. So anyway. But anyway, yeah, time bound to check in. So the second goal that I had, the first one was self-care, and that was kind of a goal for me. The second one is for Gwen, and that goal is to create more of a routine for her. When I was working full-time, I would have meetings sometimes where I had to be logged in on the computer before 7:30 in the morning. And then some days my first meeting wasn't until 9. But then that also meant that throughout my day, they were very sporadic. So if I had a meeting at 9 one day, maybe the next day my meeting wasn't until 11. Well, that also throws off her feeding schedule and her sleep schedule. My team members did their best, and they were really understanding that sometimes I would be on a call but I wouldn't have my video on because I could be feeding Gwen. But that doesn't always work when you're serving the public. So I had sometimes meetings with outside people that I'd have to be on for, and then it was a lot more of a struggle. Because of that, I couldn't always tune into what Gwen's needs were as far as knowing when she needed to go down for a nap. Maybe I'd miss those cues, or maybe I'd try to delay those and distract her a little more. So this season of life, I would like to get a schedule for her. Now, I recognize that babies have kind of their own schedule, and schedules can change. Sometimes she's a 2-nap-a-day baby. Sometimes she's a 3-nap-a-day baby. One time last week, she only wanted to take 1 nap during the day. It was a really long one, but she only took 1. So it's a routine with flexibility. Right now, our routine that I've kind of established in the last few weeks has been that we get up somewhere between 7 and 9 a.m. It depends on what Gwen wants to do and when she's ready to get up. But from that point, I can start to gauge, okay, she's usually up for 2 hours in the morning before she's ready for her next nap. sometime in that time, I will feed her. I'll make my own tea. I'll make coffee for Kyle. We'll have breakfast. Gwen and I will play a bunch, and then we'll go for a nice walk. And after that walk, I set it up so that it's right before that nap, in that 2-hour window that she needs that next nap for the morning. It's been going really well, and I've already noticed a change in her moods around nap time. She's feeling ready for it, and she's not fighting it. She's not overtired. She's not tired enough. She's usually in that just right point where I can read her cues. So that's been a real positive. And again, it could change. She might go through, especially I know there's a 9-month-old sleep regression. She's 8 months old right now, so maybe a month from now that might change again. But I am more present and more aware of what she needs, so that's been really cool. Finally, I should go back. I just want to address whether these are SMART or not. So that's a specific goal. Is it measurable? Yes, and to the extent of, are we hitting a routine more days out of the week or not? If 5 days out of the week we're hitting this nice routine for Gwen, I think we're doing okay. I have it written down right now, like the basic game plan. If it needs adjusted, it needs adjusted. Is it achievable? I would say so. As long as it's working for Gwen. If, not every baby's the same, so we can make adjustments as we go. Is it relevant? Absolutely. Babies need routines. Mommies need routines. Daddies need routines. We all need routines. So it is definitely relevant. Finally, is it time bound? It's going to change with her, but the goal is for this season to have a nice schedule for her, and if it has to change, it will. My third and final goal is to maintain our household in a way that creates more balance for Kyle and I. And so again, that's really broad and vague. So this has to be specific. So specific things to maintain our household are doing the dishes at least once a day, every day. Even if it's in the middle of the day or right before bed or first thing in the morning, I might not even get all the dishes done. But if I'm getting some of them done, or Kyle, if he can help do a few dishes, that is going to help us have more balance in life. Because, if I go to make my tea in the morning and I don't have a clean mug, but Gwen is really fussy and she needs something or has a blowout diaper, and then Kyle has a work meeting, there's just a lot of pieces going on all at once. So if we can make an effort in our house to do the dishes once a day, hopefully I'll have a clean coffee mug. We don't have a dishwasher. Other little things are vacuuming at least once a week. I try to do it more, but at least once a week, some of the carpets, that way, because Gwen's a little crawler and she's finding every single speck. If you drop a piece of rice, if a piece of grass comes in on your shoe, she'll find it. And so that's really important that we do that, just to maintain that and make sure like hairs aren't getting, I have long hair, that it's not like getting tied around a toy or something. And that she just has an awesome experience, and I'm less stressed and Kyle's less stressed. So are those specific? Yes. Are they measurable? Are the dishes getting done once a day? That I can measure. Is it achievable? Can we do this? Yes. Can we do it every day? Maybe, maybe not. Some days are better than others. We'll see. We're new parents. It's always chaos around here. Is it relevant? Absolutely relevant to my life. And is it time bound? Yeah, I can look across the last, few months before this and say, were we doing this very well? Probably not. We were just kind of going like crazy, go, 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 work, baby, sleep. That's pretty much it. So is it time bound now? Yeah, I can go to November, a few months from now, look to November and say, are we doing this well? Sure. Are we not? Maybe we need to make an adjustment. Maybe we need to buy a dishwasher. I don't know. Those are things that could help. But those are simple goals. But I hope you can see that like SMART goals can be relevant. That's why they're not called dumb goals. And I'd be curious to see if you use SMART goals in your life. I think they're really important to classrooms, to your career goals, to your life goals, to your personal goals. And I think that sometimes we can have an aversion to things when they're an acronym. They're supposed to sound cool, but if you really break them down, they're really easy to do. So let me know, what goals do you have for this season too? Because I'm always looking to self-improve, and these seem like really tiny things, but they're actually going to make a big difference in my life. So yeah, Those are SMART goals. That's what's going on in our world. Hope that's helpful. Feel free to subscribe to our channel for more updates. Don't forget to comment below with what your goals are for the season, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.